press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, we had stopped at few salient features of our constitution in the previous class. Today in this class we are going to continue the remaining features that are there, and we will discuss in detail what those other features of our constitution are given. Just to brush up with what we did yesterday is few of the features, that is, our constitution is written and it is lengthy, it is not rigid nor very flexible, we have a parliamentary form of government, we have a republican system, we have a federal system, and we have certain fundamental rights, that is, rights as a citizen of the country. Today in this class we will discuss the fundamental duties and few other features that have that we had left back in the previous class. Now that you are thorough with the constitution, the drafting committee and the preamble, I hope you have read the preamble, and getting thorough with that, I think understanding the words in the preamble will make it easier for you to understand the features of the constitution, because they match with each other. Alright, let us get into the first feature that we had left around, that is fundamental duties. Okay, basic duties that we have. Now that we as citizens have been given some kind of rights, some kind of privileges in the country, isn't it? We have our rights, we have everything that we need to put in place as a citizen of the country. Similarly, we have certain duties as a citizen towards the country. Okay, when the country is giving us, we will have to give back to the country, and certain duties we have. Okay, they are our responsibilities towards the country. Okay, responsibility towards the country. Alright, these are our duties. Let's see what's there. 11 fundamental duties. Okay, 11 fundamental duties have been put in a part, of the 4th chapter under clause 51A of the Constitution. Okay, in the 4th chapter of the Constitution, that is clause number 51A, this fundamental duties are there and it is described. I will not get much into the details of the fundamental duties because we are going to discuss that in the further classes that are going to come. We have been listed the 11 fundamental duties. Let's see. Okay, in 86th amendment, all right, in the 86th amendment in the Constitution, to the Constitution in 2002, what is being said is 86th amendment in 2000, it's being said that it is the duty of the parents, okay, duty of the parents to provide or to give compulsory education, okay, to children of the age 6 to 14 years, okay, and this is the 11th duty in the Constitution, alright, 6 to 14 years. What is being said in the 86th Amendment in 2002, that is, it is the duty of all the parents, as the 11th duty, it's the duty of all the parents to give compulsory education for all their children from 6 to 14 years of age. Alright, this is the fundamental duties. Let's get into the next point. In detail, we will discuss the fundamental duties in the classes that are going to come. Alright. Now, let's see the next point. Directive principles of state policy. Directive principles of state policy. Now, this is there in the 4th schedule of the Constitution. Okay, our Constitution is lengthy, isn't it? So, it has many chapters, it has everything that is there. Now, these principles that are there are 15 of them, the principles that are there is adopted, okay, it's being adopted from the Irish Constitution. Irish Constitution, all right. These directive principles have been adopted through the Irish Constitution. Now, they stand as a basis for, okay, basis for social and economic equality. Okay, that is no kind of discrimination to be done among people. All right. These directive principles state that you will have to have social and economic equality and you will not be discriminating anybody. Okay. Now, these principles are required for the administration of the country. Now, there is a case, in case the government cannot be questioned if it doesn't implement doesn't implement these principles, but when they make laws, they have to keep in mind these principles. Okay, they cannot be questioned. The government cannot be questioned. Government cannot be questioned by whom? By the court, okay, by the judiciary, if it doesn't implement them. All right. If it doesn't implement them, the Court of Justice cannot question them. But the government has to keep in mind, okay, government when they frame new laws, they should keep in mind what? These directive principles of state policy, okay, directive principles of state policy. This is the second point. I hope you understood this much. Let's get into the third point. Let's see what's there in the third point. Let's see what's there in. Okay, let's see the third point. Independent and centralized independent and centralized judiciary system. Now, what is independent? Alone, and centralized, it is in the center. Now, the courts that are there, they have the authority to give judgments, to do what? To protect the rights of the people, okay. These courts have the authority to give the judgments in order to protect the rights of the people. Now, the legislature or the executive those who have framed the laws and those who are executing it, okay, they can't interfere with the working of the judiciary. That means they cannot interfere with whatever the judiciary has to say. They have to accept whatever the judiciary has told them. All right. Now, the Supreme Court is the highest court in India. Okay, highest court in the land, highest court in India, and there are high courts, okay, and other courts that become a part of the higher this Supreme Court. I hope you understood this, okay. It is alone, nobody can interfere with whatever judgments they have to pass, and they will work on whatever their knowledge is. Now, I am writing 1 to 3 in the points. You will have to continue with what number we stopped in the previous class, okay, as you write points. All right. The next one is single citizenship. All right. Single citizenship. Now, earlier, if you remember, these kings had small provinces, isn't it? Everybody belonged to one province, but we now, citizens belong to one country. So that is single citizenship. This is done in order to promote nationalism. Okay, one nation, feeling of one nation, nationalism. All right. Now, all the citizens have the same rights, okay, have the same rights and whether they belong to any place in the country, okay, irrespective of their birth or residence. Wherever they have been born in the country, wherever they are staying, everybody has one right when you belong to that country. Okay. Now, the legislature, okay, they have the power to frame rules in these matters. Okay, in this matter, the legislature has the power. Okay, many powers they have, but one among them is this. Let's see the next point. All right, adult franchise. In this, all citizens above 18 above 18 have the right to vote. All citizens above 18 have the right to vote. Now, this symbolizes the sovereignty that we have in the country. All right, let's get into the next point, that is bicameral legislature. Okay, bicameral legislature. Now, the central legislature that is there, okay, the central who are forming the laws is called the parliament. Now, there are two houses in this, okay. The lower house, that is the Lok Sabha, and the upper house, that is the Rajya Sabha. Alright, this is bicameral legislature, consisting of two houses, that is lower house and the upper house. Lower house is Lok Sabha, upper house is Rajya Sabha. Seventh point, we have party system. Okay, people can belong to any party and they can contest for elections. Political parties. Political parties are there, and that is called as multi-party system in India. We have many parties, isn't it? The BJP, the Congress, JDS and many other parties. You already are aware of the parties that are there. Prominent are the Congress and the BJP. Now, that is prominent here in India. That is multi-party system. Many parties are there who are contesting with against each other, all right, whenever they get. Now, the party that wins the majority, okay, in the general election, there is a general election where the party which wins the majority becomes the ruling party, whereas the party that loses becomes the opposition party. Okay? The party that wins becomes the ruling party and the party that loses becomes the opposition party. These have the right to rule, where these will have authority to let them know what they are not doing. Alright, I hope you have understood the remaining features that are there. With this I would like to stop, because in the next class we will discuss the fundamental rights that we have. Similarly, we are also going to go into the fundamental duties that are there and that we have towards the country. I want you to read all the features and get ready for the next class. Alright students, thank you very much for listening. We should meet soon in the next class.